I'm Chris Anderson, artist on Creepshow, Heavy Metal Magazine, co-creator of Lost Angels, Spectral, a showcase of fear, and Chaotic Neutral. But today, we're going to take a look at some weird little Captain Marvel War Bond comics. Welcome to Chris Anderson Comics. So as a lot of you know, I like weird things, weird comics. And I don't know, for some reason, I guess I was thinking about my pops. He really was a big influence on me as a cartoonist, even though he drew, but he wasn't a cartoonist himself. I think he always wanted to be. He was a crooner, which is pretty awesome in the 40s. But he was a big fan of Captain Marvel, Shazam. And I was just sort of like, I don't know, looking on eBay to see what kind of, early 40s Shazam Captain Marvel comics were out there. And if I could find a ratty reader copy, just maybe, I don't know, as a way to connect with him. He's gone now. So I stumbled upon these, which were an amazing find. We got Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel Jr. These are, you can see how big they are. They're tiny little books. And you flip on the back, it says, "For Victory, Buy United States War Bonds and Stamps." These were comics that were, it's really hard to find much information on them. But I think that they were either handed out as a way to get kids to get their parents to buy war bonds for the war effort. These were published in 1942, so World War II was right in the thick of it. Or if you bought war bonds, they were handed out to your kids or something. I'm not sure. I really can't find much information on them. But these things sort of sparked something in me also, just looking at the print quality of them and the size of them, and like thinking back to the Masters of the Universe mini comics that would come with the action figures. That was always something that, I don't know, maybe it was the tininess of it, and being a kid was really appealing and attractive to me. And I bet these were to kids, during World War II also. We'll get into like the way that it's printed and the way that it looks, and it's pretty amazing. But let's just kind of like dive into one of these things. So says here, copyright 1942, Fawcett Productions, Greenwich, Connecticut, published by permission, Samuel Lowe Company, Kenosha, Wisconsin, printed in the USA. And then they gives you sort of this introduction to Captain Marvel and says, Solomon, wisdom; Hercules, strength; Atlas, stamina; Zeus, power; Achilles, courage; Mercury, speed. So spells Shazam. Just as Aladdin had his wonderful lamp. It's really small. It's, I'm 46 years old. It's a little hard for me to read, but just as Aladdin had his wonderful lamp in bygone days, into this modern day comes another of history's miracles, probably the most famous of all. When young Billy Batson pronounced the magic words Shazam, he is changed into Captain Marvel, undoubtedly the world's mightiest mortal. For in that magic word Shazam lie the powers of the strongest and wisest men in the history of the world. So, if anybody doesn't know anything about Captain Marvel or Shazam, it's what was kind of cool about him was that Billy Batson was a kid who had this magic power that turned him into this sort of Superman-like character, which eventually, as we know, the story kind of got got the publisher. I don't know if it was Samuel Lowe Company or Fawcett Publications, but got them in trouble with DC because they said it was too much like Superman. But Billy was a kid who turned into this superhero, which was kind of really cool. Kids really loved. According to my dad, who was, he was 13 at the time that this book came out, was something that was, different and appealing to him anyway. So though Captain Marvel was smashed, though Captain Marvel has smashed so many of the laboratories in which Sivana, I guess his name is, Sivana works, his miracles of mad scientist, the master of evil knowledge, always seems to have another. So we've got this evil Dr. Savannah or Professor Savannah. So it says, "Why are you moping, Butia? Captain Marvel never pays any attention to me." So she's sitting here with this little picture of Captain Marvel. He's this mad scientist. She is his assistant, and she is just pining over Captain Marvel. The story is pretty of its time. "Forget that big bruiser and help me with this experiment. It's going to be my masterpiece. Oh, my heart's not in it today. I can only think of him. He's so handsome and so heartless. Boo-hoo." And then you get over to this page. Now, this is really cool, where they do this like sort of red spot color. And the way that this paper has yellowed is just, I don't know, it's perfect. I'm guessing that the original artist and creator of Captain Marvel, C.C. Beck, drew these. I'm not sure if they're reprints of issues that were in regular comic book size form. I'm not sure. Like I said, I really can't find much information on these things. I just really think they're really cool little weird artifacts. Some readers will remember the time that Captain Marvel met Professor Edgewood Smith, the cracked old scientist for whom everything seems backwards, inside out, and upside down. Well, here he is, back again, just as nutty as ever. So, Savannah is going to go and see Dr. Edgewood here. "Hello, Dr. Savannah. How are you? And the lovely Miss Butia, or Butia, I don't know. That's what I came to see you about, Professor Edgewood. Butia is moping around because nobody loves her. I want you to help by becoming her new heart interest in place of that no-good Captain Marvel." So this is really something that messed with me the first time I read this, because they actually, the balloons cross each other because Edgewood speaks first. Big no-no. "Of course, we mad scientists must stick together. But am I not a trifle too old for a pretty girl like Butia? Nonsense! A man's only as old as he looks. Here, drink this. I just worked this out. No cat has 9 tails. If one cat has 1 tail more than no cat, then one cat has 10 tails. Forget the cat tails. Drink." Huh? Okay, whatever he said. Obediently, Professor Edgewood drinks. He turns faint, dizzy. Oh, 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 oh. I love how they wiggle the line on him. It's really, I don't know if you can see that. And is transformed into a youthful giant. Oh, hot dog, it worked. Captain Marvel himself never did a better quick change job. So every page on here is sort of printed a little differently. Well, not everyone, but you can see how offset this is, the red from the black. And the ink on here just looks different, the way that it's printed. "What's this? I seem to have my old long muscles back." But those clothes are all wrong. I brought others. Ah, once more, I'm the Edgewood Smith of old college days who scored the winning touchdown against Punxsutawney in 93. So that's 1893, uh, because this came out in 1942 and that guy's old. So, yes, come with me. Beauty, my dear. Of course you know Professor Edgewood Smith, but I didn't know he had a grandson. We've thought of Professor Edgewood Smith edgewise. A lot of people call him as harmless, ridiculous crackpot. But don't forget, he is now young and ambitious. You are forgetting Captain Marvel. All you remember is Edgewood Smith. Yes, I love you madly. So apparently he has some sort of like hypnotic powers here. I love the hairstyle that of the late 30s, early 40s, with that hair that kind of goes up. Um, People. So we've got a little advertisement here for buying bonds. We turn to a gala event, a war relief benefit for at Wiz Theater. It's really hard to see, but this theater is rendered really beautifully. Grow it up a little bit, but you can see like this statue and these little sort of like decorative sculptural heads and the hatching here and this and all this work. I bet the originals are just really something to look at. What a turnout, folks! Wish you could all be here tonight. The most distinguished figures are here. The elite of the nation are here, and in the lobby is set up the microphone of none other than Billy Batson, ace broadcaster. I'm going to introduce a few people you all know. Here's Spy Smasher, and on his arm the lovely Eve Corby, daughter of Admiral Corby. Keep 'em flying, Billy. Here's Lance O'Casey, stopping off between voyages of adventure. It's really hard to read it. It's very blurry. There's something about the Japanese in there, so I'm sure there's some mild racism going on. Next we have Golden Arrow, Hero of the West. Hi, partners. Likewise, Prince Ibis, the Invincible, who will do magic tricks for the show, and enchanting Princess Tia. I salute you. But other figures are also aware of the show. See that theater, Edgewood? To smash that building would be to smash those crime fighters. They never did anything to me. But they've done plenty to me and my friends. Whenever I try anything, they muss me up. Then why not stop trying things? If you want to marry Butia, please help me in this job. Help me in this little job. On that basis, of course I'll help. Why go into the alley? It's from the opposite of the theater. Well, I'm not too good-natured. This underground is under the theater. Carry the explosive there. Yes, and then, by means of this wire, we can explode the charge and kill everyone. Yep, for kids. As soon as he's underground, I'll close the switch. Can't fail. You know, Savannah. He wanted Butia to be happy. He'll sacrifice Edgewood for his evil ambition. Now he'll sacrifice Edgewood for his evil ambition. But don't forget, Edgewood hypnotized Butia into romance. Now she guards his life. I love you, Edgewood. He must not die. So she's going to go in and get him. Funny, these wires so loose. The stairs must lead closer to the theater. I'll go to the top. Meanwhile, the motion picture part of the program has ended. Hooray, swell! Folks, you just saw the Spy Smasher here in person. Is the hero of that thrilling film, Spy Smasher himself. Speech! Who are you? Speak up or I'll sock you. Don't sock. If I dropped this explosive, there'd be nothing left here. I'll skewer him like a Christmas goose. Avast, golden arrow. All that dynamite in his hands. Those boxes, they're about to slip. Well, I seem to have broken up the show, eh? Do something, Ibis. Ibis? I left the Ibis stick in my dressing room. Shazam! The magic word brings lightning, thunder. From where Billy Batson stood a moment ago leaps Captain Marvel. Can I help you, mister? Lights open. Lucky we're only about a half a mile from away towards the sea. What's that? An invasion attempt? It's coming from this little lighthouse as they explode in the ocean. Probably somebody deep sea shooting deep sea fish. I guess that happens all the time. People go into the deep sea and blow up anglerfish and whatnot. As for you, you'd better explain. Explain to you? I doubt if you have the intelligence to grasp my explanation. Come on, if you want to fight, I'll give you what I gave Jim Corbett in the summer of 1894. Let me take this one, Spy Smasher. As for you, sir, I remember seeing you somewhere or other. Put up your hands. I'll put up only one hand, like this. Bop. Prince Ibis. This is what I call the vanishing plug ugly. No idea what that means. Making him reappear would be a little harder, eh? The force of the blow sends Edgewood hurling back. You cut my wires, Butia. Don't deny it. I deny nothing. I love Edgewood. He's my hero. You didn't save him. He was probably captured. No, he's here now. Correction, please. I've just remembered. It was really Jim Corbett who thrashed me in the summer of 1894. My hero. My gosh. Edgewood and I shall be married. Of course. Why not? I'll make the arrangements then, and you two will do some work. Hello, was this Buzzard Q Shyster, Justice of the Peace? Get ready to marry a couple of dizzy doves, huh? Performance ends with Captain Marvel substituting for Billy as Master of Ceremonies. The entire company bids you a good night. Hooray, swell, encore! I'm wondering if these characters showed up in the book at all. No idea. I must kiss that handsome man. I want your autograph. Now let me shake your hand. Nix, shazam, boom. Getting too much attention. Where did Captain Marvel go? He's very shy, folks. I hates to be fussed over. Ho hum, guess I'll take a shortcut home as Billy leaves the theater. Tonight, war relief effort. What do you know about that? Farewell, my broken heart, mine too. What has Billy run into? Looks like a mass suicide. They'll drown. Shazam! So a bunch of guys are about to just jump into the water. And, well, they are jumping into the water. What's the idea? You'll get wet and get pneumonia. It's dirty in the river. Why don't you take a shortcut home? And let us go to our deaths. We have nothing to live for. Nonsense. You'll all live for 50 years apiece. What's the reason for this mass suicide? Haven't you heard? Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, Butia will marry. We all love her hopelessly. Well, I thought that nobody loved her at the beginning of this, and that was the whole point of it. But I guess gotta throw in a mass suicide or two. If you want to save us, stop that wedding at 9 a.m. at Judge Shyster's. Beauty is marrying? I never thought. Boys, Butia will never marry. Butia will marry nobody. Who is that guy? I don't know, but he means business. The sun rises. 9 o'clock approaches. Here's the place, folks. I've loved Lillian Russell, but she didn't compare with beautiful Butia. Talking about old loves, right as he's about to walk on the altar or walk down the aisle. That's great. Now to visit Judge Shyster's marriage foundry. Judge, these young people want to get married. I'll officiate, Dr. Savannah, but we need one more witness. Another witness? What about me? Captain Marvel. Stronger than any hypnotic spell is Butia's adoration for the mightiest of mortals. My hero, my ideal. Smack. That's a smooch, not an actual smack. My gosh. You don't understand, Butia. Some poor fellows were going to kill themselves. Why are you interfering? Leave at once. What are you saying? Boom! Curses! He elbows him right in the face. Shut him up. I'm sick of this. I want to get married. You assaulted me at the theater, but you have no gang of ruffians now. Take it easy, Edgewood. Steal my bride, eh? What you need is a chastising. Yes, Butia? He's got delusions of grandeur. Go easy. Let's exchange fisticuffs. I thought I was heartless, but I'm sorry for what's about to happen. Please don't interfere. I'll mow him down. I'll maltreat you. I don't know what he's who's trying to say that. I guess yeah, okay. I guess this guy who's trying to fight him. He doesn't know what he's saying. In a minute, he won't know anything. So you didn't run while you had the chance, eh? There's one way to bring this silly business to an end. Coward? Poltroon? Weakling? I don't know what a poltroon is. This has gone far enough. Snap. That for you, too. The snap of Captain Marvel's finger. I guess it's so powerful that it blew him away. But a punch earlier was all that it took. Didn't kill him. Poor fellow. I hurt him more than I intended. Give him a drink. Hey, put that back. He's still punch drunk. This will revive him. You don't know what you're doing. The preparation Captain Marvel administered will restore Edgewood Smith to his former self. I know you, Professor Edgewood Smith. Why, hello, Captain Marvel. I remember you. You old idiot. I'd have helped you marry Butia. What? Me get married? At my age? Don't be silly, Dr. Savannah. I suppose you're going to invent perpetual motion. No, I'm going to invent perpetual motionlessness. But as for Savannah, I'm going to... Wait, Captain Marvel. You can't hurt me. You have not a single thing on me. You broke up the wedding for my sake, didn't you? Well, no. Too many men are in love with you. If you married, they'd have committed suicide. What shall I do? He doesn't love me. We're back where we started. Do I do these things because I really care about that girl? I can't think of any real answers to Captain Marvel's questions. We won't... Well, he won't mystify you if you folks... if you follow his exciting adventures in America's Greatest Comics. And then it goes into another kind of Captain Marvel adventure here, but it gets very racist towards the Japanese folks in here. So we're going to skip that. Um, but bizarre little artifact. The Captain Marvel Jr. one, same deal. It's a war bond advertisement. This one is about Nazis, though, and drawn in a totally different style, as you can see. So apparently, Mac Raboy was the artist on Captain Marvel Jr., who had a totally different style. He also drew, from what I gathered, a lot of Flash Gordon stories. It makes a lot of sense. Very Hal Foster, more of a realistic-ish style than the cartooning of who I presume is CC Beck, although it's really hard to tell because, at this time, I think the system of, just having a bunch of cartoonists in a room producing things was going on. And so it's kind of hard to tell who was doing what, kind of aping styles. So this story is about Captain Marvel Jr. So Captain Marvel Jr. turns from a boy into a super boy, but he is a boy who has a limp. Maybe he had polio or something. So he walks with a crutch. So I'll read a bit of this. So it says, the conquered countries must be ready to rise when we come. Wait a minute. Let's go. I'll go all the way back here. So we've got him sitting here with his book, and this it says, Captain Marvel Jr. and the iron heel of the Huns, and it's got this giant swastika back here as this army approaches, and it says, "Dear Diary, countless people suffering under the something heel of Nazi tyranny. How glad I am that I could strike a blow against them. Master spies of the United Nations gather at number 10 Downing Street. Gentlemen, the time for a major attack against Germany is at hand. In that attack, we will play an important part. The conquered countries must be ready to rise when we come. An is Captain Marvel Jr. If no man dares, a boy will dare. Junior, you're too well known by the Nazis. Well, I'll send another boy, Freddie Freeman. Outside and alone, Captain Marvel speaks the name of his hero's name. Why listen to the lad? Give him a chance. Captain Marvel! Boom! Magic lightning cracks in the air. So I guess when he says, doesn't say Shazam, he says Captain Marvel to turn into Captain Marvel Jr., the name of his hero. In place of Captain Marvel Jr. appears Freddie Freeman. Captain Marvel Jr. sent me, gentlemen. Let me be your agent in Europe. So he gets on a plane. It says, through the night, the spycraft flies over captured territory. Wow, that poor kid killed himself. So he jumps out out of the thing and shouts, Captain Marvel. Suddenly, Freddy leaps. Boom! Puny Freddie Freeman has switched into Mighty Captain Marvel. Down. And Freddie Freeman finds himself in the stricken city of Pulaski. Please, ma'am, in which prison is Dr. Lodz? Quiet. Do not speak his name. What are you two scum jabbering about? Oh, this boy asks news about one who is dead. You should all be dead. Why did you lie? Little fool, go away. Poke your nose into other things. What's happening yonder? Get out of the way. These supplies are for Nazi headquarters. Give us food. Our children starve. Those brutes enjoy seeing people suffer. Captain Marvel. So he'll sort of turn into Captain Marvel and um, kind of start beating up these Nazis, but he knows that if he rescues this professor or this guy from this prison, that they'll just take it out on the people. So he goes, and there's a point he says, "This is one thing old Shazam taught me, the art of makeup." So apparently, Captain Marvel is also an amazing makeup artist, and taught young Captain Marvel Jr. how to do that. So he transforms this commandant into the professor, looking like the professor, sends him out, who says, "Stand at attention and say 'sir' when you address me," to the other Nazi soldiers, and they gun him down in the streets. So, good fun. And then there's this second story, which has some really actually cool cartooning in it. I don't know anything about this. It's called Sir Butch, but the cartooning in it's really cool. And again, just this like spot color. There's a dragon and these dinosaurs. And then another Captain Marvel Jr. story. I don't think it has anything to do with the war. Well, maybe it does. I didn't actually read this one. But yeah, just kind of a weird little piece of history that I just happened to stumble on, found it for cheap, grabbed it, and thought I'd share it with you because it's just kind of weird and bizarre. Hope you enjoyed taking a look at it. I'm going to do more things like this and find some weird, bizarre things to share with you, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my Patreon, where at the $3 level, I'll send you my sketchbook, The Sketch of the Masters, and at the $5 level, I'll send you the sketchbook, plus my mini stories, not Man nor Beast, but Moss, Stench of the Sea, and The Voyeur. At the $8 level, after a year, you'll get a commission. Don't forget to sign up for my newsletter in the show notes. Check out my store, where I have lots of original art. And you can also buy books like Lost Angels, a sci-fi YA adventure about a girl who has to solve a mystery in a crashed alien city. Spectral, a showcase of fear, is about a sinister puppet master who travels from town to town telling tales to children who may never sleep again. You can request a commission at any time just by contacting me. Here is a list of the upcoming conventions that I'll be at the time that this video was released. And don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the video. Again, thanks for watching.